as a leader, I think all great leaders are people that others want to emulate, and Dan McDonald is that guy, or is one of those guys for me. What he did as an assistant coach at Ole Miss, and then the last 19 years as the head coach at Louisville, he's probably one of the most successful head coaches in the country, somebody that I look up to. And to do what we did today versus that team, as well coached as that team is really amazing. You know, the Chanticleers are one of two teams in the entire country still playing. And it's incredible, but it's not unbelievable. It's incredible, but it's not unbelievable. And it's not unbelievable because we've got really good players. But the separator is these players are willing to drop I and me for we and us. And when you bring a group of people together with that mentality, this is what can happen. 25 straight now? 26 straight, 56 wins, school record. 176 hit by pitches, NCAA record broke today. Absolute selfless group that did unbelievable things this year. And another reason that we're in this position is because we have an athletic administration that backs our program at the highest level. And what I mean by that is they enabled us to hire an elite coaching staff that would rival any coaching staff in the entire country. They give us the resources to put our players in the best position to become the best players that they can be. And it's an absolute team effort. The last thing that I want to say is the reason that I'm in this position was our former athletic director, Matt Hogue. Back in 1999, I'll never forget the job he did for the recognition I received as a player. He continued to recognize me as a coach, and if it wasn't for him, obviously Coach Gilmore, I would never have been given this job, and I'm forever grateful for him.
We'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. This one's for Colby and Walker. Another big first inning for you guys, and you guys just keep seeming to come up with hits in big situations for your team. Talk a little bit about that and the approach you guys have to just come up in those big situations.
Yes, well, we always preach scoring first, and anytime you have a chance to score first, you're going to get a bunch of momentum dumped in your dugout. And this time Walker made it easy on me. He didn't make me do it with no runs scored. He went ahead and got 2 runs in for me, so it made it a little easier. But we always preach when bases are loaded, the pressure's on the pitcher. It's not on the hitter. He's got to throw 3 strikes. If he throws 4 balls, then that's a run. So we always preach, pressure's on the pitcher. And when you stick to your approach and you believe that, it makes things easier.
Yeah, like he said, with where the pressure is. Coach Schilling says that to us all the time, and just being able to go up there with a slow heartbeat and get the job done for the boys, it's huge.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7. Question for Colby. You're on an incredible tear in the postseason, not just the NCAA tournament, but the Sun Belt Conference tournament as well. You've tallied at least 1 hit, 1 run scored in all but 2 NCAA tournament games. What's your approach like at the plate today? Walk me through the first inning at bat where, an incredible job getting a couple of RBIs across the plate, but, celebration also towards the dugout.
We're just, we practice, sticking to an approach. And I think a little bit early in the season, I didn't really have much of an approach, and I'll admit that. But once I figured out what approach worked for me and worked best, and I could stick to it, it makes things a lot easier. And that the celebration is something we've had since, I think, weekend 1. We don't really know where it came from. We just kind of came up with it. So whenever we have a chance to do it, we're going to do it.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Riley, you've been on the mound for a lot of those early leads that your team has grabbed. Today was obviously a big one, but what does that do for you as a pitcher to be able to pitch from ahead consistently as you've been doing during this winning streak?
If offense goes out there and gives you a big lead, it's big pressure off yourself. You go out there, just do your thing, try and make pitches. I made quite a few pitches today, and the defense made great plays behind me. And without them, the score wouldn't be the same today. They've made a lot of great plays behind me, so grateful for them.
You have any more questions for the student athletes? Right here in the blue.
Yeah, Riley, just 45 pitches on Friday. I think 98 today, 90 something. I think it was 98. Were you running out of gas a bit in that sixth inning? And, how did you try to get through that?
I wouldn't say that I was running out of gas. I mean, obviously every pitcher gets a little tired as the game goes on. But I just lost some feel, then tried to get it back. But Louisville they got a bunch of good hitters, and they made some good swings. So all I could do is focus on myself, try and make pitches, and they made good swings on good pitches. Props to them. A bunch of good hitters with them.
We'll take one more for the student athletes.
Nick Hathcote, College Baseball Insiders. Riley, what was working so well today, obviously against such a great offensive hitting team like Louisville?
Off speed was helping me out a lot. I was able to keep them off balance, get weak contact, and let the defense make plays behind me. Whenever I don't have to do too much and the defense just takes care of business behind me, it makes my job a lot easier.
Riley, Walker, Colby, we appreciate your time, and we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some sweat.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
We'll now open it up to questions for Coach.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Kevin, I was kind of going back and reading Aaron's fall report on you guys. It did not sound like a team, at least from your perspective, that looked like a potential national championship contender at the end of the fall. What did you kind of see from this team in the fall, and what are you kind of seeing now that may be a little different?
Well, in the fall, we clearly felt like we were going to have a really good pitching staff. A couple guys were down in the fall, so we knew that they were coming back. But the truth was we just had to figure out. We lost 3 of our 4 top hitters from last year. We lost a Hall of Fame head coach. So we had to kind of figure out who was going to fill, those gaps. And those 3 guys that we lost offensively are tough to replace. Truth be told, Sebastian Alexander stepped up in a big way. I mean, he's got the tools to be a great player. We knew that all along, but he just never really put it together. Now he's batting in our 2 hole, and he's done a big job for us to kind of fill some of those production that we had from last year. But I can't say that we felt it was a national championship contender. We knew it was a really good team. We knew it was a championship type team. We were picked 4th in the Sun Belt. No problem. We'll move forward, keep our head down, and keep grinding. And that's what this team did. But we clearly felt like this pitching staff was going to be the best pitching staff we ever had.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7. Coach, I was hoping if you could expand on what you said. It's not unbelievable. It's incredible. And for me, what I noticed is it's just a very consistent ball club. Everybody in that lineup got on base today. In the NCAA tournament, 8-0, you've nearly tripled your opponents in run differential in games. Can you just talk about that consistency?
Well, it starts with frees. Today we were able to earn 10 frees, 6 walks, 4 hit by pitches. That's where it starts. We've got to earn frees. I thought we ran the bases exceptionally well. It was bang, bang at third. Wells, going first to third on that hit. Tip your hat to their right fielder, but Blake Barthel coming through with that big 2-out hit right there after they got the big inning, something we've done a great job of. I think it's 12 straight games in a row. We haven't given up a big inning. We give up a big inning to Louisville today. And you got to give them credit. They got, they got 2 infield hits that we just couldn't get our glove to, and then they get 2 2-out hits in a row. The bottom of their order got 2 2-out hits in a row to get them that 3rd run. That's a big deal in our program is winning that big inning war. And even though we were up 6-0, all we were talking about was we were up 1-0. We're up 1-0 in the big inning war, and then Dean Mijo's coming through, getting that big 2-out double to get us that 7th run. Again, that 7 run, that scoring first, winning the big inning war, and getting to 7 are 3 really important parts of our offense.
Wilson Moore from the Omaha World Herald. Kevin, you meant with the sheer number of hit by pitches, I'm just wondering, what do you attribute that to? Is that philosophy, approach? What do you attribute the hit by pitches to?
Well, they don't eat if they get out of the way. No, we just, it's just something that our guys have bought into. Our guys are obsessed with getting on base. They understand the way you score runs is having guys on base, and any way you can get on base helps our team win. And we got a bunch of humble dogs in that dugout that are willing to do whatever it takes to win, and that's why we're one of 2 teams in the country still playing today.
Mitch from the Athletic. Coach, is there any kind of specific parallel that you can draw between this team and the one that you came here with in 2016? It's something that allows these guys not to let the moment get too big?
I wish I could give you an answer that you could really take off with, but I can't. No. It's different than the 2016 team. That 2016 lineup was so dangerous, 1 through 9, power, speed, short game. This team is different. This team is more grind, inside game, first to third, little things like that, and they play really high-level defense. Even though we've made 2 outfield errors this week, that's the only errors we've made. We're fielding over 980 here in the postseason, which is pretty tough to do because you're in a lot of pressure situations.
We'll take one more question for Coach.
Kevin, you kind of spent a lot of time this week talking about the contributions that all these players have had, but just for you personally, like, how has this run been? 26 straight national championship, or playing for one at first year as a head coach. Is it almost like a dream a little bit?
It really hasn't hit me yet. I'll be honest. I'm still trying to digest that game. You know, I know we're going to the World Series finals, and whoever wins 2 out of 3 brings home brings home a national championship. So no, it hasn't really hit me yet, because one of my maybe flaws is I'm rarely satisfied. This is satisfying, but I'm not satisfied yet. And, these next 2 days are really critical if we're going to win a national championship.
That'll conclude our press conference. Coach, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided